Hey, it's Golden Buddha here, back with some more RPG horror stories for your listening entertainment. And today we have a good story here entitled My First Experience with Chaotic Stupid. And I really like this one, so let's hop right into it today. Roll post. I've been a GM for about 5 years now. I've GM'd a campaign with close friends and another for lovers of D&D. I've always had good players. They all got along and were playing to have fun. I've been reading this sub, laughing at many of the stories while thinking, ha! Glad that's never happened to me! Well, it has finally happened. I just created a new setting and I'm starting up a new campaign. I've had my eye on some potential players for a while back. I prefer players who are laid back and get along with anyone. I like to run a one-shot with all candidates to see if their playstyle could fit with the type of campaign I like to run. I found a strong group of players and was looking forward to this campaign. I scheduled a session 0, and one of the players informs me that they have mentioned and invited another player. I was upset at first, but after hearing their credentials and chatting with them through text, I decided to give it a try. Wizzy shows up for session 0 and informs everyone their character is a kid. Kind of a red flag, but okay. After going over housekeeping and world lore, we do a short playtest. It's a basic, goblins have overrun my business and I'll pay you to get rid of them scenario. The group heads to the home of the quest giver, and Wizzy says he just walks in without knocking. I mention it's the guy's home, and it's locked. He whips out a lockpick set. Red flag 2. The other players say they just knock on the door. The quest giver unlocks and opens the door. Wizzy pushes their way in and starts rummaging through the quest giver's belongings. Red flag 3. I ignore him and interact with the other players. They all head to the business. Wizzy finishes up and joins. They get to the business, and Wizzy states they are going to just walk into the business and cast Fireball. It's level 1. Red flag 4. I let them know it's locked. The quest giver is hesitant about this group with this psycho child. He reluctantly unlocks the business. Wizzy, true to their word, walks in and starts burning down the establishment. Not fireball, but a torch and flame control. Wizzy starts screaming maniacally. Major red flag 5. The quest giver stares in shock. The rest of the party does as well. They were discussing how they were going to search the establishment right before this, but now they just stand there. They begin to try to put the fires out and stop Wizzy to calm them down. I don't do PvP. Wizzy states they refuse to stop or be calmed down. Red flag 6. Eventually, Wizzy stops when the other players convince them that they might not get paid for this. Wizzy states how excited they are to eat cooked goblin. Red flag 7. Keep in mind, this is supposed to be a child. They find the goblins, kill them, and in the process, out of game, Wizzy is establishing that they are a boundary pusher when it comes to rules. Can I push the burning crate against the goblin as a bonus action, causing force damage and fire damage? No, you can't. Out of combat, Wizzy is very loud and yelping constantly. We play in my basement directly under the rooms of my young kids who are asleep. Red flag 8. By the end of combat, it's taking everything in me not to just direct every goblin towards Wizzy because they're being annoying. It's also taking everything in the other players not to just direct their attacks at Wizzy, who is looking like more of a threat to the quest giver's establishment than the goblins. They attack the goblins closest to Wizzy, hoping for a natural 1, and that all rule Wizzy is hit by the errant swinger's shot. No one is having fun. Except Wizzy. Once the goblins are defeated, Wizzy, I continue burning down the business. Final red flag. The other players look at them and say, yeah, we're not going to let you do that. It's late at this point. I ignore Wizzy and then interact with the farmer, who immediately leaves to tell the authorities about this psycho child. I end the session there. Moral of the story, if you're going to run a major campaign, always have at least one shot with players you've never played with before mentioning a campaign to them. End post. Really, that last piece of advice you gave is very good. Have a one shot, not even to see if someone's going to do something completely ridiculous, like try to burn down someone's house, just to see how people mesh and what type of players you have there, and if they'll be able to go in a long-term game. Session zeros are so important, and so are first sessions as well. Honestly, the whole no PvP thing, I don't agree with it, because if they would have killed him, this wouldn't have been a big story. You wouldn't have had to deal with him all session. One of the players would have been like, oh, I attack him. And he was playing a mage, so he probably didn't have a whole bunch of health anyways. Or they could have just knocked him out. They didn't have to kill him. Just knock him out, restrain him, and then leave him there. Everybody at the table understands that we're all here to play a game, right? Most people do. And then you have situations where someone's role-playing an asshole or just being an asshole. And you can do one of two things. You can talk to them about it out of character, or in character, you can say, hey, he's trying to set this guy's house on fire. We apprehend him, we turn him into the authorities, and we go kill the goblins or do whatever we were going to do. And then you tell that person who was captured to roll up a new character. Is that unfair? Hell no. Especially if you could tell they're being disruptive. If you can tell they just came here to fuck with the game, then just be like, hey, no, you're out of the game. But my guy didn't die. It doesn't matter. Your guy's in prison for life at this point. Or he's at least in prison for the duration of this entire quest. And now the person has to think about their choices. Or leave the table. And if they leave the table, problem solved. And that's all I have to say on this story. But what do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And as always, this is Golden Buddha telling you to stay enlightened and stay safe.